corns a poppin'. Yes, the corn's really poppin'. So while it's hot, let's pass the butter as we join the group All America has voted the musical morons most likely to succeed, with Doodles Weaver as Professor Fiedelbaum, George Rock, Dick and Freddie Morgan, and Sir Frederick Gass. And speaking of gas, here's the one and only, in fact, the matchless, the man to touch it off, Spike Jones and the City Slickers.
Thank you, music lovers. Tonight, our nutty nomads have dragged their baggage into Charlotte, North Carolina. Ah, Charlotte, on the banks of the crystal clear Catawba River. And tonight, as number 3 in our Seeing America with Spike series, we take you on a radio sightseeing tour of the beautiful state of North Carolina. You have just heard Lamar Stringfield conducting the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. Our tour of North Carolina starts in the tobacco country. 150 years ago, on a spot near Goldsboro, 2 Indians met.
Me Indian. Me name Big Chief Winston.
What you doing?
Me build 'em canoe.
What you do with canoe, Winston?
Sail 'em.
And so the town of Winston-Salem was founded. Now it is the center of the tobacco industry. And as we walk down a country road, we overhear a couple of natives talking to one another. Hiya.
Not so good.
What's the matter?
I've been buying tobacco for now under 40 years.
What's wrong with that?
I'm only 25 years old.
Knowing that he's never going to reach 26, we move on and decide to pay a visit to a cigarette factory and see how they're made. Towards the back of the factory stands a worker who seems to have an important job. What, we ask him, do you do?
I'm a cigarette sniffer.
A cigarette sniffer?
Yes. I'm vice president in charge of going snip, snip, snip.
Tell us, sir, exactly what does your job consist of?
Well, the cigarettes come out of this machine, see? And I stand with my little scissors and snip them off so they're the right size. One day I dropped my scissors.
What happened?
Did you ever see a cigarette 67 miles long?
Leaving this king-sized moron to his work, we leave the cigarette factory. Continuing our tour, we pass many beautiful homes. We stop at one, a palatial mansion with 92 rooms. Wanting to meet the owner, we knock on the door. It opens, and a man says to us,
I have $28 million.
Gad, sir, that's quite a fortune. How did you make it?
From the tobacco industry.
Oh, do you grow tobacco?
No.
Do you manufacture cigarettes?
No.
Then how did you make $28 million from the tobacco industry?
I invented the ashtray.
Emptying him into the wastepaper basket, we leave Tobacco Land, and as we do, we can hear the natives singing.
Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette!
That was the Smoky Mountain Trio. So round, so firm, so fully packed. Our tour now takes us to Charlotte, North Carolina. In this part of the state, a different type of manufacturing takes place. We pass a hosiery mill humming with activity.
With activity.
We pass furniture factories, textile mills, and the Cannon Towel Factory. We stop a moment and ask a question. How many Cannon towels do you manufacture?
20,000 a day.
We are amazed, for we did not know that there were that many dirty cannons in the country. On our way back to our hotel, we strolled down. We almost didn't make it off the curb. We strolled down Tryon Street. There is not an automobile in sight. A lone pedestrian stands on the street corner, and we wonder aloud, where is all the traffic? We were told that Tryon Street is a very crowded street.
Oh, we got a new traffic engineer. He made all the streets in Charlotte one-way streets running south.
Well, he certainly relieved the traffic congestion.
Yeah, but there are now 79,000 cars in Fort Mill.
Thanking Mayor Baxter for his help, we arrive at our hotel. We're exhausted by our tour, so we decide to lie down and take a nap. Just as we are about to fall asleep, we are awakened by a noise in the next room.
Darling, je vous aime beaucoup. Je ne sais pas what to do. You know, you've completely...
We go next door and say, would you mind cutting out that racket? I'm trying to sleep.
Racket? Why, Spike Jones, with your music, you're a fine one to talk about making a racket.
Why, it's Hildegarde. Hildegarde, what are you doing in Charlotte?
Well, I'm on my way to play an engagement at the Statler Hotel in Washington, Spike. And I just left beautiful Florida. Oh, I just adore Florida. Spike, did I say something wrong?
Yes, Florida. The Slickers are from California.
Oh!
But Hildegarde, we're all waiting to hear you sing. We've been rehearsing your music all morning.
Oh, you have? Well, how do your musicians like my arrangement?
What musicians? Excuse me. I'll ask him, Hildegarde. Fellas, how do you like Hildegarde's arrangement? She means her music.
Oh, can't the boys dream of it?
Well, sure. I think you better go ahead and sing, huh, Hildy?
All right, Spike. Oh, it's wonderful, it's marvelous that you should care for me. Thoughtful, nice paradise, what I love to see. You've made my life so glamorous, you can't blame me for feeling amorous. Oh, it's wonderful, marvelous that you should care for me. My dear, it's 4-leaf clover time. From now on, my heart's working overtime. Oh, it's wonderful, marvelous that you should care for me.
That was wonderful, Hildegarde. And now we'd like to spike Professor Fiedelbaum. Tell me, Professor, are you having fun in Charlotte?
Oh, yes. Last night I took a girl to a drive-in theater. We had popcorn and Coca-Cola. Then she put her head on my shoulder.
Hey, you really had a good time at that drive-in theater.
Yes?
Huh?
Next time we're going to go in a car. Now let's turn to the funny stuff. Tonight I shall sing a tender ballad entitled Carolina Moon, dedicated to this beautiful state. Am I on voice?
Sounds like the Carolina moon came over the mountain with Kate Smith sitting on top of it.
Carolina goon, Carolina loon, Carolina spoon, a spittoon, a lagoon, baboon. Carolina tune, Wisconsin in June, South Dakota, no Minnesota, no Bermuda, Catalina, Wyoming, homing in the gloaming, China. I'd like to get you on a small boat. Wrong song. I better start again. Carolina moon keeps shining on the one who waits for me. Carolina moon, I'm pining, 'cause I'm homely as can be. I'm not only homely, I'm so funny looking, I used to work in a freak show. My roommate was the India Rubber Man. He was a bounder. They caught him bouncing a check, and now he's doing a stretch at Sing Sing. Yarko! Oh, I'm hoping tonight you'll go to the left, right, no, left, right. What do you know? I'm back in jail again. You know, there was a prisoner right in front of me, and the judge says, "What did you do?" And he says, "Well, I'm an electrician." And the judge says, "What's your name?" And he said, "Sparks." And the judge says, "What are you in for?" He said, "Assault and battery." And the judge says, "Put him in a dry cell." That's a current joke. You want to know something? My father was an electrician. I was his first shock. Carolina, right on your life. Say I'm all right, please do. I'm lost. Doesn't make any difference. Carolina moon. Speaking of moons, reminds me of those mysterious spooky shows like Inner Sanctum. That's where the door opens with a creak. Big door. And from out of nowhere comes a voice that says, "Trick or treat." Carolina moon keeps shining on the one who hates. Who rates? No, baits. No, dates. Gates. A horse's gates. A horse! And there they go. It's little Germain in front. Greensboro Shrine Club, Sydney Ann Close, Edel Geek, and Box Springs. Looks like a sleeper. Not bad. Dreamy Carolina moon.
You've been listening to Corns of Poppin', originally released as Spotlight Review by CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System, for listeners in the United States. This program has been rebroadcast for United States servicemen and women overseas. Thompson speaking. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.